Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farmville. So you could do it the same way that you do with the mowers and just go around the corner, and then at the end of it you go back through and do another pass over it afterwards. And that does actually work fairly well. Or you can do like I did there and just kind of lift it up as you go through and try and do it that way. I find with this game, it's slightly frustrating with doing the raking, because you can't set the hired help going unless you've got exactly square edges on the fields, because it doesn't stop. It sees the bit that is already rowed up, and it will then go and do that as well. And you don't want it to do that. What you want it to do is you want it to stop on the outside, like before it gets to the bit that you've already rowed up. Now, you can do it, it will sort of do it if you've got square edges of the fields, because it will sort of reach the edge of the bit that's just hay on the ground, and then it will stop there and it will turn round. Usually it will do it, and then sometimes it goes wrong and decides, well, actually no, I want to carry on now. I've gone over a little bit, but then I want to carry on and I want to do a bit more, and then it just kind of does weird stuff, right? Really, really weird stuff, and there's no proper way to correct it. What I have found is if you go and you do the outside round of the field, once you finish doing the outside round of the field, you then go and get your baler, or the outside 2 rounds is actually usually better. Go and get your baler after you've done the outside couple of passes, and bale up those outside couple of passes. Right, we're done now. And then after you've baled up those, then you go back and you do the rest. And you can leave the hired help to go and do the rest, because you've only got the stuff in the middle. Now, that does actually work really well. But you've got to clear the bales out of the way as well, so that your hired help isn't getting caught up on it. So it's probably what we will do. We'll take that approach, which is why it's quite interesting to see that the baler that we've gone and bought, I didn't get the hitch option on it, but it does have a hitch option. So what we could do is we could have the baler going, and then we could have our little trailer that we've got over here. That one could be hitched on behind the baler, and we could go and gather up the bales as we go and do those outside rounds. That would work really well. We could actually do that, and then we've cleared everything out of the way. We then get the hired help working on the rake and gathering everything up that way, and then once we've done that, I was wondering if I want the front. Yeah, you know what? We're going to have the front wait. Once we've done the outside rounds, we've gathered up the bales, we've moved them, then the hired help carries on with the raking, and while the hired help is doing the raking, we can then go on with our baler, and we can go and do that bit, because the baler is the one job that you cannot have hired help doing, which is always a bit of a jolly nuisance. And yes, I know we could go and use courseplay. I can hear you saying it right now. I can see people furiously typing away at their keyboard saying, but courseplay! No, don't want courseplay. Without courseplay, you cannot use a baler on with hired help. Well, not to do hay, at least. You can use a baler to do hired help. Right, seriously, all these cars come in here. I need to get through. I'm very important. I have things to do and people to see. Anyway, yeah, the baler. I was just saying about the baler. There is one job you can have the hired help doing, and that's if you put a mower on the front of the tractor and a baler on the back. You have to turn the baler on and just put it going. Then you can put the hired help going. And the hired help just does the mower. It leaves the baler on and running. So if you've got a round baler, it will just keep going, and the bit where it's wrapping or removing the bale, it doesn't actually pick the grass up for that, and it basically ignores the fact. It does turn on the ends of the fields as though you have got a trailer behind you, so it does turn like that on the ends of the fields, but other than that, it ignores the baler on the back. So the hired help basically operates the mower on the front, and then you've got a baler on the back that just happens to pick up everything that's cut. I did that in FS19 on the Boulder Canyon series. I did a lot of mowing like that because we could just leave the hired help going, and it would wrap the bales and place them on the ground. I think we were using one of these. It was a quick bale thing, so it didn't leave like bits behind as well, and you just had the bales being dropped behind us. That worked well. That was a good method of doing it. It did take a long time though, so there is that to take into account, is the time taken to actually do the baling. Now we're going to come in here with our brand shiny new baler. Going to come in around over this way. We're going to unfold this bad boy now as we go, and in theory it should not do any wrapping because we are just doing hay. So we will start it here. It should do 25k, and there we go. Right, it's got hay 3825.00010728884. Slight error, I feel, in the way that this one has been created, and also another slight error on my part is that I need to change the size of the bale. I'm not going to this time though. We will leave it because we're going to have a part bale that's just going to be left, so we're going to leave it as the smallest bale, and then so that means I'll have to go back and do a run with just one of those. I'd like it to be bigger bales though. It would be better if it was bigger. You know what? We'll leave it like this for this harvest now, and I will change the size of the bales later. I'm slightly annoyed at myself for doing that. I should have done it properly to start with. But what I like about this is this baler is... I mean, it's only doing 15k instead of the 25k that we were promised. It does have a nice wide pickup on it. Let's see how wide that pickup actually is. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Look at that. Right, we can go straight here. We haven't got any worries. We've got really big, wide area here that's been picked up. And we can just basically ignore all of that. Because we're doing small bales, so it's having to transfer it quite quickly, that's why it's only doing about 15k. If I was to change it to a bigger bale, I'm pretty certain it would go up to the faster speeds that we were initially promised. I will find out later, because I quite like the idea of just doing these small bales to start with, just for our first harvest. And then when we've got a few cows there, we're down to 400,000 euros. We will be able to just put the small bales in for the cows, and then later on we'll get much bigger ones. And we're going to get... I don't want to use a tractor and front loader. I've never been a fan of tractor and front loader in real life or in game. So I would like to get a telehandler, I think. That's what I would like to be able to do the work. The front loaders, the wheel loaders, they're actually really cool in this game. I like those, but for handling bales, I prefer a telehandler. I find it a bit easier. And the colour that I've picked for this one, this Kubota, the shiny orange, I have absolutely no regrets over my decision for this shiny orange Kubota colouring whatsoever. I think that this was a smart decision to make. You know, it's nearly 5 o'clock already. We've been working hard in this field. We've done a lot here. It's coming along quite nicely, though. I'm pleased with this. Once we get on round, I want to keep it going at this kind of... And I really love the wide pickup there. Did you see? We sort of missed it a little bit as we were going around that corner, but it still picked all of it up absolutely perfectly. That is fan-schmastic. I like this baler. And yes, it is only doing 15k, but I'm 90% certain that it would go a lot faster if we were to switch it over to the bigger bales, because it doesn't have to transfer everything quite so quickly. I mean, maybe it doesn't, because I know I did try to alter these bales previously on... Well, that was in 19, no, not in this one. But this particular type of baler, it didn't like it. It just didn't like going faster. It was not something that it was able to cope with, so it may not be something that we're going to be able to do. If that's the case, then that's the case. We'll just sort of cope with what we've got right here. But so far, it's doing a really good job. And I think we've got a bale counter as well. 18 bales so far. We're not going to be able to gather all of these up with our little bale trailer that we've got. So we may have to get another bale trailer. Slightly bigger one. I'm okay with doing that. I'd like some feedback from you all. Don't know if this video will be live before I get to doing much of the harvest. Would you like to see more small bales being done? Oops. Or would you like me to do all of the straw that we do with this baler here? I'm just currently trying to decide whether or not I should keep the small baler at all, or if we should get rid of it. Because what I could do is keep it, and we'll do the straw this year with the small bales, because we've got a few fields that will be getting a fair bit of straw off of them. Or I could just get rid of the small baler now, and we just won't worry about it. I think I need to turn quite sharp there. I did... Okay, he's going the 25k now. I missed a little bit of grass just there, because I'm trying to do this so that I can sort of see the tractor as he's driving along. Because I think it looks quite cool. Alright, let's go out here like this. I've got one little bit up there. There's a bit right there in the middle. There's a piece of field that we're going to want to do something about. And then there's a big dip over there. This field is going to take quite a bit of work to actually pick up and correct. And enlarge and so on. So we have got our work cut out here. This is not going to be an easy task to get everything done here. And that's it. That last little bit of bale is not going to be unloaded. And I don't think... there was a mod, I think, that actually allowed you to do that. So we do this. Lower pickup, fold baler, turn off automatic drop. No, I don't want to do that. 25 bales. Yeah, you can't auto unload it. So we'll fold this one up. I'll run back to the yard. And we got 25 bales that we're going to be putting into our shed over here. We'll go and get our little trailer. And we'll take that one out. I think that we will probably keep that little trailer for now, because that one's going to be quite good, I think, for doing, like, moving the eggs and stuff like that. And then we'll get a bigger trailer next year for doing some of the other stuff. I mean, maybe we'll get one this year. We'll have to wait and see. But we have now got hay. I've also got to find somewhere to put this baler. There's a tractor loader there. Actually, this baler can just go in here for now. Push you back into there like that. Let's change this bale size over now before I forget. So we can go to 150 and all the way up to 180. That's the biggest ones that you can do. So we're going to go for the biggest bales from here on in. No, I don't want to shut you off. I'm going to leave that baler there. And then we want to go and get this trailer over this side. Little tiny dinky trailer. I like this trailer. There's something about this trailer that's really cool. I don't know why. I really rather like it. Shift there. Right, liquid tank, big bag, big bags, Euro pallet, round bale cotton, round bale 125. And we can take 12 on this trailer. So we're going to have to go 3 times because we got 25 bales in the field. I suppose I could put a front... I haven't got a front loader on this tractor. So 3 times we're going to need to go to be able to clear that field. And then we can have a serious look at getting some cows. I would probably be able to put a lot of this into, you know, straight into the cows. I don't actually want to do that, though. Now, when I was gathering bales in fields, some people will always start at the ones nearest the gate. I never did. I always liked to go to the ones at the back. I would always go for the bales furthest away from the gate first. Gather those up, and then later on, I would only have the ones nearest the gateway. So basically, the first load that you do is the one that takes the longest amount of time. And then as you progress through the field, each load gets a little bit quicker. And I've always done it like this. I don't know why. It might be sort of a trained habit, because I know that my grandfather always did that. Whenever I worked with him when we were gathering bales, whether it was getting bales from stacks that had been stacked up all over a field, or just gathering loose bales, he would always go to the bales that were furthest away from the gate first. I'd never forget him. Like, I've never forgotten that. It was something that we always did. It was always the ones furthest away from the gate first. And then each subsequent load that you do is a little bit quicker. And so the final load is the fastest load of all. And he did that because it is purely a mind thing. He said it's always nice that the last load doesn't take longer than any other load that you've ever done. And it's purely just like a mind thing. If you've been working all day and the last thing that you've got to do is going to take longer than anything else that you've done all day, despite you having done this job all day, it's a little bit more depressing. And it's purely because of it makes you feel better about the work. It doesn't make any difference overall to the speed that you bring everything in, but that last load being faster than everything else, it's just a little kind of feel-good boost. And I remember him talking about it a little bit. He didn't say very much about it. He wasn't one for talking, not like me. If me and my grandfather were having a conversation, probably 9/10 of the talking was done by me. And I'm not ashamed to admit that in the slightest. So, yeah, but that's why he would do it. And I've always done it like that as well. It just kind of feels like the natural thing to do. But I guess that's because I spent so much time with my grandfather doing work like that. It definitely wasn't like a one-off occasion. It was something that I did very, very frequently. Now then, we have hay. This here, we can put food. We can have 100,000 litres of food. I don't really like the idea of just chucking it straight off the trailer into here. I want to be able to do that with the telehandler that I want to buy. So let's go and buy the telehandler first. Now, we do have the tractor front loader. I'm actually just going to sell that one where it is. I don't want to bother running it down to the thingy. Down to the dealership. So I'm just going to sell that one. There's the manure fork gone and the universal bucket. I'll sell that one. And then I'll go here to the front loader. That one, I'll sell that one as well. And now we can go back into this. So we're going to want telehandler tools right there. There's the standard bale fork. Really want that one. We're not doing wrapped bales. We're just going to be feeding our cattle hay. I'm not going to feed them any extra. And so we need to decide what kind of bale. So there's various different types of big bale grabs and forks and so on. I like these. These are actually a type of big bale grab that I really do like. I've used these quite frequently, and I think that they're quite cool. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. Like, there is such a huge selection of different things that we can have. Alright, you know what? We got round bales. We're just going to go with the standard bale fork. We'll keep it nice and simple for now, at least. Right, so I want that one there, and we'll probably want a bucket and a manure fork at some point, but we'll worry about getting those later on. So now we're going to want to go into here, and where is telehandlers? There we go. Right, what have we got then? There's a... Oh. An electric telehandler. I would love to try out an electric telehandler. I've driven an electric car, and they are actually really, really good. I like driving an electric car. They're quite powerful, They've got really good acceleration on them. They handle really, really well. It would be really weird driving. Well, not that weird. I've driven forklifts quite a lot, and some of the forklifts, most of them were gas-powered ones, had gas bottles on the back. But I have driven a couple of electric forklifts, and those are absolutely brilliant. I don't see that this would be any different. It would sound a little bit, it would be weird not having the sound. We're gonna do it. I really, really want to drive an electric telehandler in real life. That would be very cool, I think. I think it would genuinely be something that would be absolutely awesome to try. I can see no reason, having used an electric car quite a bit, I can see no reason why this particular thing would not work well. I mean, yes, if you're working on a farm that would need to be using your telehandler all day, every day, then it's not going to be, work out quite so well. But where I've generally used telehandlers, it's not an all-day, everyday thing. You use it for a few hours, and then you park it up for most of the day, and then maybe you use it for a few more hours towards the end of the day. Like, it's not something that you're using 24/7. If you are using it 24/7, then, it's probably not... an electric one is not going to be the best option for you, because it does need to have time to be able to charge. I didn't even see that. Right, I don't like the 15k top speed on this thing. That's awful. That is... I'm immediately turned off by this thing. What is the top speed on the others? That's 30. That's only 15. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Why is it only giving me a 15k top speed? Should be able to do more than that. I guess it's because it's built for more torque rather than speed on... I think none of these others are Merlot. I've spent a lot of hours sitting in a Merlot. None of these others are electric. Alright, well, we'll go with it. We will go with this one. Like, I'm not going to change my mind just because he's slow on a road. And around a yard, he's going to be just fine. But I am a little bit disappointed that the speed that it does. Right. Ideally, this isn't brilliant, but it's better to travel with it like this than it is with it down on the ground and the spikes pointing out. What you should do is have it either on a trailer behind you, or you should have it... Have we got a beacon? No, we don't. Or down on the ground with something over it. You put a bale over it, and then it's absolutely fine. But if you absolutely cannot do any other way, then traveling with it like this so that the spikes are pointing down over your wheels is the better way to go. Questioning the wisdom of this decision right now, because this is quite slow, but I still really want to try out an electric machine, just driving around the yard and handling. I mean, the rest of it seemed alright. It's just getting from point A to point B is a little bit steady. And at long last, we have made it to the farm. So, we're going to go in here like this, and a great big long queue of cars behind us. We'll grab this bad boy here. And I'm going to take the first two bales, and I'm going to put them in to the pen, and then we will buy some cows. So we've got 9,000 litres right there. Alright, that feels more like an electric vehicle. The electric forklift, the one thing that I really loved about the electric forklift over everything else was the speed and maneuverability of it. The forwards to backwards is literally like just two pedals. That was just it. You would press one pedal to go forward and one pedal to go backwards on the forklift. I don't think it's going to be like that on this one. This one looks like it would be a shuttle. The lever there to the left-hand side of my hand right there, just on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. That's the shuttle lever. You push it forward to go forward and pull it back to go back. At least that's what I'm guessing. Oh, wait, no. Right, it kind of looks like they got the shuttle lever on the right-hand side, but that would just be daft because you need your right hand on the control lever down there. See? Down there. Now, maybe they've put the shuttle onto that lever down there. They do on some, but I don't know. Right, anyway, let's just drop you down there. But the forward back feels as responsive in the game as it does in real life on a forklift, which that's one of the things that's really good about it. If you're on a forklift and you're in a tight space, that maneuverability is absolutely amazing. It's genuinely brilliant. It makes such a massive difference to the speed at which you can get stuff done. Right, we're going to go in here now and we're going to decide what we want. So we want milking cows, which means that we're not after Limousin or Angus. We want either the Holstein or the Brown Swiss. Now, Holstein is the milk-producing cow of the world. There is a reason for that. They produce more milk than just about anything else. And they do quite often look like a bag of skin and bones because these cows put everything into milk. But that is also the reason why they are the premier milk-producing animal of the planet these days, because they are that good at turning all available energy into milk. They just don't look after themselves quite so well. But that's the ones that we're going to go for. We're going to go with the standard black and white cows. I quite often like to use those, but we'll go with these. And I'm going to go with the 18-month-old ones so they start reproducing immediately. We are going... Now, we can take 80 animals here. So what I'm thinking is we will go with 20 of them. And the gestation period is 10 months. So in 10 months' time, we will have another 20 turn up. And then you've got to wait. Then another 10 months. And yeah, I think that'll be all right, actually. We build up our numbers steadily. So we'll do that. So it's 33,000 right there. Right, that will allow them to start building up. Here we go. That will allow them to start building up numbers, and it still leaves us with enough money. What I wanted to do... Why is it saying start engine? Is it the... I don't know, I got something here that's operating when it shouldn't be. That will allow us some... We've got some money left over still, so we've got enough money to buy another tractor. I want a bigger tractor. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.